Hello and welcome to News Now. Today is Friday, February 26th. I'm Ryan Bennett, here with
Blaine Bishop.
Now let's get into today's top stories. After the death of Justice Scalia, a gap has been left on the Supreme Court bench. What could this mean for the future of the Supreme Court? On February 22, 2016, the first session was held since the death of Justice Scalia. Chief Justice Roberts paid a tribute at the start of the session. It was an emotional return for the members, and there was about 10 court cases in 2 weeks following the death of Scalia. The death sparked a political battle to replace him.
The Grand Old Party, also known as the Republican Party, has recently lost a candidate for presidency. Jeb Bush was supposed to be a happy candidate, showing compassion, but Donald Trump's aggressive campaigning quickly overcame Bush, and Trump skyrocketed in the polls. With a disappointing finish in South Carolina, Bush suspended his race for the White House, having this to say: "The people of Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina have spoken, and I really respect their decision, so tonight I am suspending my campaign."
Hillary or Bernie? Both have great supporters and detractors. The Democratic presidential nomination is slowly favoring Hillary with the wins this past weekend in Nevada. But Bernie Sanders supporters have time to sway voters in the upcoming Super Tuesday. Stay tuned.
An Uber driver named Jason Dalton picked up a group of people at the Fairfield Inn at Battle Creek, Michigan, then got a phone call a little way from his home. He then proceeded to run traffic signs and took them to Kalamazoo and killed 4 out of the 6 people and severely injured the other 2.
The water coming out of people's faucets in Flint, Michigan has been contaminated by lead. This problem has only recently been confronted in January, but has been occurring since April of 2014. Many people believe Governor Rick Snyder knew about the contaminated water, but still distributed it to the residents of Flint. The effects of this crisis has led to thousands of ill residents, the majority being children.
This Saturday, the United States and Russia agreed to begin a ceasefire in Syria. This is planned to remedy the failure of a previous ceasefire, which was supposed to happen last Friday. Secretary of State John Kerry said the ceasefire would reduce violence in the country and allow for a political transition.
So what do you think about this whole mess?
It's troubling, but at least we're trying to get a handle on it.
Right. All right, let's send it over to Evan with sports.
Hello. The Detroit Tigers headed down to Lakeland, Florida on Friday, February 19th to begin their first workout of spring training. The team looks to piece together a better bullpen for 2016, and for manager Brad Ausmus, there is something more important about the large group of pitchers that came down. Rebuilding the pitching staff was new general manager Al Avila's main task in the offseason. However, Ausmus may have to take on one of the biggest challenges of the season, identifying that bullpen. From Lakeland, Florida to Detroit, Jimmy Howard has heard the rumors of how much tension there was in the locker room the last time the Detroit Red Wings had 2 goaltenders wanting to be number 1. Creating tension is not in Howard's character, even as he seeks to emerge from a slump that left him looking back to December 3rd for his last victory. Howard remains a friend and major supporter of Peter Mrazek, who has started 15 of the last 18 games. Jimmy also commented that it is very important for us to have a good relationship because it can affect the whole team, from the ice to the court. The Pistons were busy last week trading Brandon Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova for Magic's Tobias Harris in an attempt to make the playoffs. A second trade with Houston has been canceled due to injuries. Now to what's happening here at school. The Marysville cheer team has won their championship and is now heading to the regionals to compete. 5 Marysville wrestlers are going to the Palace to compete. Girls and boys bowling are competing in their regionals. Girls basketball will be competing this Saturday at Marysville High School. Now we'll be back after these short messages.
There are lots of unmet needs out here, and while I can't change everything, I can change some things. So I stepped up and became an American Legion Auxiliary Volunteer. For nearly 100 years, they've been helping our veterans, military, and their families here and abroad. Military deployment can be tough on a family, so we do what we can to help. And every injured and homeless veteran deserves the compassion we can give them.
Well, we are here to help.
Plus, we also have programs to teach our youth how to be good citizens and young women how to be leaders at ALA Girls State.
America.
I wanted to give back like the other 800,000 American Legion Auxiliary volunteers. There's history here. Patriotism, pride, open arms. It doesn't take much time to make a difference. Will you join me and please step up to help our country's heroes and their families? Call the number to volunteer today.
Welcome back, and now on to human interest stories. Scott Darling did a very kind thing, and did it without trying to get noticed. The Blackhawks goalie has a soft heart when it comes to people in need. He met a poverty-stricken man on the streets. When the man asked for a bit of money to get him back on his feet, Darling took it a step further. He gave him money, along with paying for a month's stay in a hotel. He then went to buy him groceries and did it all with sincerity. This would have gone unnoticed, but one man put it on social media, and it spread until Darling confirmed it after a practice on Monday.
The famous YouTuber Casey Neistat, at the age of 15, left home and had his son Owen. Soon after, he moved to New York City and had the opportunity to film his own HBO series, The Neistat Brothers, with his brother Van. From his endeavor, Neistat turned his life around and became an esteemed filmmaker. Casey Neistat now lives with his wife Candace and his baby daughter Francine in New York and uploads daily videos on YouTube.
It's really good that it all worked out for Casey.
Yeah, it seems like a great career to have. Now let's send it over to Jacob with school news.
Thank you, guys. And if you want to improve your SAT scores, come on down to the MTech building on the SC4 campus. Classes will run March 5th, 12th, and 19th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Each class is $25. Sheets are available in the counseling office for more information. And now, if you want to get fit, the Marysville Pi Day 5K run is back for the third year straight. But this year, you can sign up at a discounted rate by signing up as a group, club, or team for only $17. If you are signing up alone, the cost, will be $20. Sign up by February 26th and get a Pi Day t-shirt. Registration forms can be found in the main office or in Miss Shigley's room. Now, on to some musical talent. Marysville High is presenting a new play called Fiddler on the Roof that will be taking place at Marysville High School and is directed by Mr. Martin. Ticket prices are $12 for adults, $8 for kids, students, and seniors. Fiddler on the Roof will be presented March 17th and 19th at 7 p.m. and on March 20th at 2 p.m. So come on down and watch the play, Fiddler on the Roof, at Marysville High School. Now on to the band. On March 29th, 180 members of the Marysville Viking Regiment will be traveling to Orlando, Florida. While there, band members will perform with a professional conductor and will march down the main street. The students will also perform at Universal Studios. The trip, under the direction of Mr. Dusso, is taken every 3 years. We will be back for more right after this.
Loyalty.
Teamwork.
Responsibility.
Sacrifice.
Determination.
Compassion. Respect.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
An athlete.
Sports do not build character. They reveal it.
As a parent, hire a trusted friend or family member to watch your child. Make sure to ask if they have taken a babysitter safety course, and if not, encourage them to do so. Give your sitter important contact information such as your phone number and the number of your family doctor. As the sitter, make sure you are comfortable with the family and know what is expected of you. Clarify feeding directions with the parents and be aware of any food allergies. Make sure to be watching the child at all times and never leave them alone for long periods. If the child is sleeping, check on them every 15 minutes. In case of any emergencies, dial 911. For more information on babysitting safety and to learn where to take a babysitting basics course, log on to redcross.org.
Welcome back to News Now. So Seth, I hear you got some good tech stories for us.
I do. So, tech giant Apple and the FBI are in a heated battle over a terrorist iPhone, as it could be a link to other terrorists. The terrorist and his wife attacked on December 2nd, 2015 at the Inland Regional Center in San Bernardino, California. The attack left 14 people dead and 22 injured. The FBI wants Apple to let them look into the smartphone so they can inspect the terrorist contacts, but Apple strongly argues that this is an invasion of privacy. Meanwhile, the popular social media site Facebook turned 12 on February 4th, 2016. Since it was founded in 2004, Facebook has acquired over 1.5 billion users from all around the world. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg has dubbed the day Friends Day and has released a celebratory video marking Facebook's 12th birthday. People started to recently believe that hoverboards underperform in terms of safety, and 52 people have reported their hoverboard catching fire. Some people believe there should be laws manufacturers must follow before they can sell them. Meanwhile, laws have already been passed in California, and if they see you on a hoverboard in the streets, it could be up to a $250 fine. Meanwhile, over here in Michigan, the Coast Guard just recently flew over Lake Michigan, and the warm winter meant there was no ice on the water and no algal blooms yet, so shipwrecks are easily visible from the air. Many of the ships could not be identified, but a few were, such as the James McBride and the Rising Sun. An estimate of 6,000 ships have been sunk in the Great Lakes, and about 1,500 of these ships were spotted in Lake Michigan by the Coast Guard.
I can't believe 6,000 ships were sunk in Lake Michigan.
I know.
So Bailey, I hear you have some entertainment stories for us?
I sure do. The Academy Awards are taking place this Sunday with the red carpet opening at 7 p.m. and the awards starting at 8:30 p.m. on ABC. There are many great movies out this year with nominees for Best Picture, including The Revenant, Bridge of Spies, Spotlight, and The Big Short. Other noteworthy categories include Best Film Editing, Best Director, and Best Actor, with nominees including Bryan Cranston's Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio. Deadpool is at the top for new movie releases. It made more than $132 million on its opening weekend. In the movie, a former Special Forces operative is transformed into Deadpool, a fictional anti-hero. Zoolander 2 has also been very popular. Derek and Hansel are modeling again when an opposing company tries to take them out of business. Kung Fu Panda 3 consists of the main character Po and his long-lost father reuniting and traveling to a secret panda paradise. In other Hollywood news, the R-rated movie Deadpool was a huge success. Deadpool 2 is already in the works, starring Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and an uncast actor as Cable. The movie is already in pre-production, with the script being developed by the same rights as Zombieland and the director Tim Miller. Deadpool 2 is expected to be more violent and even more hilarious than the first movie, and is supposed to be released in 2017 or 2018. In sad news, Harper Lee, author of To Kill a Mockingbird, has died. She passed away in her sleep on Friday, February 19th. Prior to her death, she lived in Alabama. The noted American author will be remembered fondly.
So you guys think DiCaprio will finally get his Oscar?
I really do. I mean, he deserves it, and I think this is his chance.
He does. All right, well, thanks for joining us on News Now, and we'll see you next time.